Hello, my fellow children of the night, the Dark Leandra here. So, today I wanted to try something a little different. I would like to create a new tag, a new goth tag about Gothic literature, because I have an unhealthy obsession for Gothic literature and just can't stop talking about it. Also, because there really isn't other tag, any other type of tag like this on YouTube, which is really surprising. So yeah, I'm gonna create the Gothic Literature Tag. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Question number 1. Ouch. Okay, here's my cat called Ratatouille. Hello, Ratty. Hello. Anyways, question number 1. What is your favorite Gothic novel? Okay, so most of the time it's actually a tie between Jane Eyre and Frankenstein. But this weekend I saw another movie version of Frankenstein, so right now it's Frankenstein. I love everything about that story, from the brilliant genius of Victor Frankenstein, who then turns against his creation, from the monster himself, who has become the prototype for the literary outcast, the social outcast. Mary Shelley's prose is absolutely beautiful. It's a really complex, really deep story, and personally, I really like the monster. The monster is one of the most complex and thought-provoking creations of literature, in my opinion. So, yeah, uh, right now it's Frankenstein, definitely. Question number 2: How were you first introduced to Gothic literature? So I was 9 years old, and I was first made aware of Gothic literature through Edgar Allan Poe. The first story of his I ever read was The Telltale Heart, and I must admit that story really scared me. I must admit I did not originally like Edgar Allan Poe when I was younger because I just didn't get him. I really didn't, and his stories were just too scary for me. So it wasn't until I was 16 and we studied Edgar Allan Poe for an English class that I became reconciled to him and fell in love with his brilliant genius and incredible imagination. So yeah, Edgar Allan Poe was my first real introduction to Gothic literature. Question number 3. Recommend an underrated Gothic novel. And I'm going to recommend We Have Always Lived in a Castle by Shirley Jackson. Basically, for those who don't know the story, the narrator is this young 18-year-old girl called Mary Catherine Blackwood, and she lives with her sister and uncle in this isolated manor. Now, they've had to the thing is, a few years before there were more members of their family, but a tragedy occurred in that family and they've had to move and live elsewhere, and so they're shunned by the villagers. Sorry guys, I'm not good with summaries, that's the best one I could come up with. It's a very chilling, very haunting, quite scary story really, and definitely criminally underrated. Most people tend to recommend The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, which yes is a good novel. I would recommend We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Anyways, question number 4. What is a popular Gothic novel everyone loves but that you can't stand? In my case, it would have to be Dracula. And I have already explained why in my Ungoth Confessions, so I'm not going to go through it again. I do not like Dracula, the book, in case that wasn't obvious. Question number 5. What is your favorite trope in Gothic literature? So my favorite trope would have to be the setting, whether it's an old ancient castle or a decaying abandoned house. I love the setting in Gothic literature. It's like it really sets the tone for the whole story. And I love the vivid descriptions. They're usually very creepy and very descriptive. You really feel as if you're right there on scene, you know? So Also, generally the castles and houses are personified in some way. It's like they're kind of extensions of the characters. They become these metaphors for the characters. Like in the Mysteries of Udolpho, Udolpho Castle can be seen as a metaphor for Montoni himself. That's just me. That's just me. But yeah, definitely the setting, whether it's the castles or the old houses. Question number 6. What is one of your favorite Gothic characters? Well, apart from the monster in Frankenstein, definitely the unnamed protagonist in Rebecca, because she's really shy and awkward at first, and she struggles throughout the first half of the novel, and then she really comes into her own. So, yeah, I really identify with her quite a bit. Question number 7. Your favorite adaptation of Dracula? For me, it's the BBC version from, I think it's 1977. Because for me, that is the most faithful version to the book. And oh my god, that Dracula, Louis Jordan as Dracula is perfect. He's even better than Bela Lugosi in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like Bela Lugosi as Dracula. He has the perfect presence, and his eyes, especially his eyes, were absolutely terrifying. But the BBC version from 1977, it's called Count Dracula, actually is absolutely perfect. That Dracula is even better. The thing with Bela Lugosi, in my opinion, is that he does tend to be a little campy at times. He tends to overreact, whereas in the BBC version, no. That Dracula does not overreact. He's perfect. He's threatening in a kind of subtle kind of way. And generally, the BBC are really good when it comes to book-to-movie adaptations. They're usually very faithful. Also, the setting and atmosphere in that version are really, really good. Spot on. So for me, it's the BBC version, definitely. Question number 8. Your favorite Frankenstein adaptation? So for me, it's definitely the Hallmark one from 2004. Again, it's incredibly faithful to the story, and the characters are spot on, especially the monster. Because as much as everyone raves about Kenneth Branagh's version, I did not like that one the first time I watched it. It just seemed too much for me. The acting was... They overreacted in my opinion, and especially Victor Frankenstein. And the monster was good, but I was not convinced by him. Whereas in the 2004 Hallmark one, yes, he's perfect. Physically, he is spot on, really. And Victor Frankenstein is a little more complex than he usually is. I mean, he feels more humane, whereas I didn't like Kenneth Branagh's take upon Victor Frankenstein at all. So yes, definitely the 2004 Hallmark one. Question number 9. Your favorite adaptation of a Gothic novel other than Frankenstein or Dracula? So for me it would have to be The Innocents. Yeah, The Innocents, which is based upon The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. That's actually one of my all-time favorite horror movies. It's oh my god, the atmosphere again is perfect. It's very creepy, and there is a lot of ambiguity going on. The ambiguity is perfect. You never know who to trust. You never know if you can really trust the protagonist, what's really going on. It's perfect, it really is. It's very chilly, very creepy. Even more impressive when you think about the fact it was made in the 50s or 60s. 50s or 60s, I can't remember when, but The Innocents, definitely. And last question, number 10. What is, according to you, a Gothic novel that should be adapted onto screen? So, there are two of them that come to mind for me. Zofloya and The Mysteries of Udolpho. Especially The Mysteries of Udolpho. I feel like that would be the perfect BBC series, actually. It really would be. I mean, you could have 6-7 episodes that would be perfect, but I'm really surprised it hasn't been done yet, but no, there isn't. So yeah, The Mysteries of Udolpho and Zofloya. Definitely. So yeah, guys, that was my Gothic Literature Tag. I I'm not going to tag anyone. Basically, it's whoever loves Gothic literature or whoever has read enough Gothic literature and seen enough movies to answer these questions. Go ahead, take a shot at it. I'm very curious to see what you come up with. So, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video, guys. Bye!